Hi, I'm Joanna. I'm a member of the Faithful Remnant Church. This is a video for all my brothers and sisters in the Faithful Remnant Church and for the Faithful Remnant to be. We are being led by the last and true Pope of this era, Pope Peter the Last, also called Petrus Romanus, who, along with his wife Mary Romanus, are the two witnesses of these end times spoken of in the book of Revelations, chapter 11. This video is titled, Don't Be Afraid of the Devil. Let me ask you frankly, how many of you are afraid of the devil? Okay, truthfully speaking, I was. That is why I thought I should be making this video to help my brothers and sisters out there who must be facing the same problem that I had faced. You might be wondering how I got rid of this fear and what was making me afraid. Let me tell you, when I was in college, me and my friends used to watch horror movies as part of our leisure time. We used to collect the scariest movies of every language we knew and sit together and watch it at night, switching off all the lights. We used to get a thrill out of it, out of watching it. Like that, we watched so many movies. Initially, I used to get very scared, but slowly, as I watched more of it, my mind got adapted, and I used to challenge my friends that I can sit through the whole movie without getting scared. At that time, I was in the deception that all these were not true, so it was just made for the sake of having different kind of movies and to induce the thrill. So that is a story of old Joanna. Now coming to the present new Joanna, you won't believe the amount of impact it had on me after I got my soul back. The devil used all the images and scenes that I saw as a tool to torture me and to make me afraid. I had a tough time shutting away those thoughts and dreams and nightmares. Now I'm getting rid of it. When I turn to Jesus, He has helped me in tearing down all those walls that I had previously embraced. Now I am able to feel the protection of Blessed Virgin Mary, my true mother, and my guardian angel, Saint Michael, and all the holy angels. Jesus has revealed in the testimony of the two witnesses why the Hollywood is making such kind of movies. He spoke through the two witnesses, and this is what he said. I will now explain an extremely important historical fact to you that has been revealed to us from the throne of God in heaven. This is Pope Peter the Last speaking. Over many years, the global governments have been monitoring brain waves, human responses and emotions, and especially the psychological response to fear. But for what purpose? The government leaders knew for many decades that the end times events were on the horizon, and they have been terrified for years that they would lose control over the global human population when those events would finally manifest on the global stage. And so, they figured out a way to modify human behavior in such a way that when those events manifested, the governments would in fact remain in control of the global population, for the most part, that is. And here is how they did it. Notice that horror films and horror scenes have become more and more prominent in Hollywood productions since the 1950s. In fact, through the television, people from preschool to the retirement home have been fed a steady diet of increasingly intense horror scenes. And because people who watch television on a subconscious level respond as though they have actually lived what they are observing, as a result, witnessing a horror scene actually evokes within the viewer a fear response. And because specific chemicals like adrenaline are released within an individual who has a fear response, over time the fear response does in fact become psychologically addictive. And of course, the worst addicts are the people who habitually watch horror scenes, scenes that are now staple part of the television's diet. But, and here is where it gets interesting, people who experience that emotional roller coaster ride response, that chemical response that is triggered by watching a horror scene, tell themselves, this is not real. This is not really happening. This nightmare is not real. This hell on the movie screen is not real. In other words, people in society as a whole have trained themselves to respond to the experience of observing a hellish situation with denial. This is what Jesus said. Jesus said, and that's how the enemy got to the people, my children, by presenting himself as an illusion, as a fantasy, as non existent, labeling the witchcraft as mere tricks and illusions. How can the people fight the enemy of their souls? And how can they resist the devil if they just pretend that he's not around? They can't, my children. They can't fight because for them there is no spiritual battle. Just like in the film you were watching, what was stated? That the citizens, people cannot know that evil exists because then it becomes complicated. They said magic, my children, but it really is just evil. And so here we are today, and the whole world is in the power of the evil one. And why? Because people only pretend he was a scary monster under the bed or in the closet or in children's bedtime stories or in Hollywood fantasies. So he kept them in the dark on his existence, but would settle if the people would not believe in me, even claim to be atheists, because I am the only one who can defend them against the enemy. But atheists do not even acknowledge a spiritual war going on. So, what are the people who have the mark of the beast really practicing? They are atheists. They can claim themselves to be Christian, but they are devoid of my spirit, and the enemy has them. Blessed are they who share in the first resurrection, over whom the second death has no power. And I would like to share one message that is put up in the www.testimonyofthetwowitnesses.com in the Saints page from the messages from the Saints. Saint Padre Pio has revealed it through the two witnesses. He said, and I quote, "For what the devil tries to do and is successful unfortunately a lot of the time, he tries to stop people from desiring to become saints, from desiring holiness, and he seeks to scare them in their interior lives that they will be attacked by him if they persevere in closeness to their Creator. But this is not so, for the Lord will protect those who abide in him, and the attacks will feel like fleas if their focus is on Him. So, for those in the faithful remnant, I hope this message will help some of my brothers and sisters. And for those who are not a member of the faithful remnant, use this time wisely. Visit www.testimonyofthetwowitnesses.com. Go to the daily prayers page. Pray the burning bush prayer from your heart. Follow the instructions on the holy water page. Take that leap of faith. Get the blessed holy water and become a member of the faithful remnant church while you still can. Thank you.